Here's my review of Daredevil Born Again Episode 3. I thought that this was the best episode so far, and it was able to do so much for when the majority of this episode is just in the courtroom. And I think that's just what I loved so much about this, and that's what made the original show so great is because these characters are so strong, they're allowed to, even though this is a superhero show, it makes stuff that is much more grounded. Just it is allowed to tell such more grounded stories because yes, Daredevil has powers, but they're not like super grandiose or anything like that. And yes, Kingpin is very powerful, but he doesn't have like super strength or anything. He's just very strong and he's just a menace. And this main trial is focused on the White Tiger who was accused of killing a cop. And this trial of Hector Ayala, I thought was just very engaging. It was just so nice because it like Hector as a character in this show is he's so like the way they say he's just a good person. Like when he saw those people being attacked on the subway, he just went to go and help. And Matt uses that like to help him to help defend him and saying like this is a good person, like and giving examples of other things and saying how like he has really no criminal record, etc. And they do eventually show the White Tiger mask. Basically, and where Matt he even says like, "Oh, I have to. There's no other way for you to be proven innocent. Like they have to say, yes, he is the White Tiger. He is a superhero. He is a vigilante. Why would he kill a cop?" And it feels, you can tell how desperate Matt is, but that's what I think I kind of like is just, yes, he is so clearly desperate, but he's just trying to do the right thing and he needs this. And this whole episode is just, this whole episode, I feel like because you care so much about these characters, I mean, when I get to the end, just makes it just a gut punch of an ending. But yeah, but what I think just, also, I really like this suit too. Like I know I kind of like how it looks cheap and homemade because it is. He did make it by himself essentially, because he just goes out every single night just trying to help, and that's what I think makes Hector such a interesting character in this show. And we also do see more of Kingpin in this episode, although it wasn't as interesting, at least personally to me, as the courtroom stuff, which with Matt, Hector, and his partner Kirsten McDuffie. And you could definitely, it is one of those things though where you do kind of feel, even though like I said I think this is the best episode so far, I think it was a really good episode, it does feel like you don't have Foggy there, you don't have Karen, and it's just, it just kind of feels like you are missing something, even though I thought it was great. And just seeing more Kingpin I just really liked. I mean, Vincent D'Onofrio, he really is like, I feel like he's just become another one of those things where like you can't really imagine a different actor playing him in live action. And he was just great here, even though he wasn't as important to this particular episode. And there are so many great scenes, though, I think, in this episode that show why Hector is just such a great character. How he just says, like, where they say, like, why were you over there by the tracks? Where it's like, he just saw someone in danger and he tried to go help. And it just ended up going poorly. Just basically just the wrong place at the wrong time. But I will say, just the whole White Tiger, like, I'm just going to get into the big spoilers at the end. So yeah, Hector is eventually killed by someone who's supposed to look like the Punisher. I'm almost guaranteed, like, it's not the Punisher. It's not. Like, we know the storyline that if you kind of been keeping up with the show, you know what the storyline's going to be. But I'm pretty sure it's a corrupt cop. But that's what does kind of make me a little upset. Like, you already are killing him, and like I wanted to see more White Tiger action because I really enjoyed this character. But yeah, I think just this whole court like scene was just great. Like that's what made this episode so great. So yeah, I would say this is personally my favorite episode of the show so far. I just really liked seeing these characters again. I just found this this courtroom, like to just be so vibrant, almost just so full of character. Of course, with the jury, Matt, and it just kind of it almost feels like this whole time when each whether it's Matt or the opposing lawyers are like bringing up other sources of evidence on why either Hector is guilty or not guilty, it just kind of keeps you like, ooh, so what's going on? Even though we, the audience, know that he's good, even though it's like we already know that he's innocent, it's still like kind of like, will he be proven innocent? And it just has that like keeps you guessing. But yeah, I would say like my only complaint, like I just didn't find the Kingpin stuff as interesting, and I'm just kind of upset about the way they ended it because it's just like, well, I want to see more of that character, and it's unfortunate. But yeah, I still thought this was a really good episode, best so far. Obviously, we're only 3 episodes in, but hey, I think it's best so far.